joining us with this incredible reporting tonight. Can you break down for us what you've learned?
Yes. What Ken Delaney and my colleague here at MSNBC and I learned was that in the summer of 2024, when Trump was running for office and Tom Homan was at his side on many a campaign trail event and basically publicly touting that he was going to be an important part of the president's border initiatives and in the administration, during that time, the FBI began hearing from the subject of another investigation that Tom Homan was soliciting bribes and doing so in exchange for promises that he would eventually be in the administration and be able to deliver and influence federal contracts to help those businesses that paid him. Now, what the FBI decided to do was have a series of undercover agents approach that intermediary and also approach Tom Homan. And our sources and an internal document that we reviewed show that the FBI recorded him receiving this money in September 20th in a meeting they arranged. This is all before Trump is president, but it is really interesting because they didn't go after Tom Homan. They happened to learn from another investigation that Tom Homan apparently had this scheme of making money by offering this.
Carol, incredible reporting that you and Ken did there. Can you walk us through what the response has been from various officials that you have presented this reporting to, whether it is at the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, or perhaps even the White House? What have you been able to learn from officials in response to this investigation?
Yes, the White House very quickly got back to us about this today. Kudos to them for that. And also Kaj Patel and Todd Blanche, the acting Deputy Attorney General, all issued statements to us in which they told MSNBC essentially that this was an improper investigation begun during President Biden's term, and that it was an attempt to go after a Trump ally, and they shuttered the case because they viewed it as lacking sufficient evidence to proceed. Of course, that is not at all how the FBI agents or the prosecutors working on this case viewed it.
Carol, the FBI and DOJ prosecutors took no further steps in late 2024. Why is that?
So here's the rub and the unusualness. I'm so glad you asked that question, Elise. What happens here is when Tom Homan is allegedly making a promise and recorded accepting $50,000 in cash for this alleged promise, he is not a public official. So he cannot be charged with a strict bribery crime, which is normally what you would charge someone with if they were offering to help influence contracts in office in exchange for money. So what the FBI and the Justice Department decide to do is to continue to monitor him. As soon as he is named as a likely appointee, he's a public official by dint of the statute. So they decide they're going to watch him for a while and figure out, does he deliver? Does he try to deliver on the promise? Does he ask for more money when he's a public official? Then they could charge him with bribery instead of conspiracy or fraud or conspiracy to commit bribery. They decide they should just continue their investigation. But the word stalled is so important that you mentioned, because when Trump is elected president, he names Homan as his border czar. By the way, a position that doesn't require a Senate background check or an FBI background check. And immediately the appointees of Donald Trump are very sour on this investigation when they get into DOJ and into the FBI and are not interested in it being pursued. And it is closed, we're told by sources, in very recent weeks.
Carol, have you heard from Tom Homan himself or seen any kind of reaction from him? And what are the remaining questions on your mind now?
Antonio, also really good question. The first person I wanted to hear from was Tom Homan, because I can envision that he had an explanation for why he took cash while sitting in a room with people he didn't realize were FBI agents. Maybe he did feel entrapped. Maybe he did have an explanation for why this happened. He was on a plane today when we were trying to reach him coming back from California, and the White House decided to issue a statement on his behalf. I still would love to hear what he has to say about the reason he appeared to make a promise and take money in a very unorthodox way. Usually FBI agents view someone taking a bag of cash as an indication that they know that what they're doing is criminal.
All right, MSNBC's Carol Lennick, thank you so much for that incredible reporting. You can read the entire piece on msnbc.com. We're going to talk to Carol later on throughout the remainder of this show.
Wow, what do you guys think about this? This sounds really, really interesting. So it's Tom Homan investigated for accepting $50,000 bribe. Oh, so he was under investigation. So guys, hit me in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think about this. How do you feel about Trump shutting it down? And what do you think should happen? Catch you in the next one.